did you become a shaman? When did you decide in your life? Because was it 5? Was it 7? Was it a teenager? Like, when did you go on this journey and says that I'm a shaman?
Well, I grew up Christian, so it was it was a huge transition.
Tell me more.
Quite a few years ago, I had a really bad situation happen with family that it almost turned fatal. And that situation left me with a lot of PTSD that ran heavily for about 3 months. I was waking up with all sorts of So fast forward, a few years later, I eventually discovered that my family's history came from pre-slavery as a shamanistic village, which is in the area that's now called Belém.
That's how the shaman, I wanted to pull out this whole shaman deck, right?
Right, yeah.
Right. And so the very first one that came out was Standing People. And what it says on the back of this card, it says, in Native American language, there are no objects, only relatives. Thus, trees are the standing people. So think about
I never really understood those things until I became much older. And that was a huge contention in my transition, because when I found out that those stories were real, it really pissed me off with the rest of my aunts and uncles, because I don't know if you have that kind of experience, but in Black families, there's some Black families that nobody talks about anything. Nobody passes on anything at all. So when I found that out, I was livid. I was absolutely livid, because how could you let us, like second and third generations, go on in toxicity without knowing that we came from power? You know what I mean?
Legacy.
That
legacy.
Right. So that was a huge contentious issue that I had to deal with. It was an emotional roller coaster that I personally.
It's interesting because, like I said, you sharing your story and the perspective, and as I was shuffling, I was like, what would be this message for those that are watching this, and I was like, well, what would be the message? What did Garland do? And this is what it says on the bottom of the card. It says, conflicts with others caused by opposing opinions, walk away from the drama. Unless the situation is really worth your time, then stand up. Standing people for yourself. Very ambitious people. So it's like it summed up your whole conversation, and like going into look at yourself, deal with yourself, whatever your inner conflict drama is, dealing with that, but take the time to reflect and go out on your own, have the peace. And as we wrap